I wonder if this thing is going to work or not. So I wanted to tell you a terrible story. Terrible, terrible, terrible story. Years ago, for a while, I worked at nighttime at the Hemingway house in Key West. Uh, it was a really good job doing repairs. Me and this guy, Pat Ryan, I guess he was pretty much an Irish guy. He was an excellent carpenter, like the best, you know. He, the old measure 3 times, cut once. Well, he'd measure about 10 times, and then he'd cut. Anyway, he was a fun guy. Nobody could work with him. Hardly anybody could get along with him, but we got along great. Anyway, so we used to work at night, until about maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. And then we'd have to drive about 27 miles, 30 miles back to the area of the Keys where we lived. And this was down in Key West. And so we'd always stop at Taco Bell and get those cheap cheesy bean and rice burritos and stuff, And one night, there used to be it had been kind of a class act of a strip joint called the Esquire. And it's that building where that recently the guy came out and killed the other guy for peeing on the side of it, just like a couple of weeks ago. That was nice. Really stupid on everybody's part. Anyway, so I said, Pat, let's go in there and get a beer, and into the strip joint. And he's like, oh, I don't know, man. I'm like, no, come on, man. It's a nice place, because I had been in there like 10 years earlier, and it was nice back then. And we go in there, and it's like, oh, I don't know, man. Maybe this isn't too nice, up in there and kind of walk in this dark thing, 11 o'clock at night, and hear this little scrawny girl go, come on in, boys. Welcome. Have a seat. So we sat down at a two-top table kind of away from the stage, and she's kind of scurried back up onto the stage, and she starts dancing. She's all scrawny, and I remember looking over at her, and she had like this big old zit about the size of a quarter on one of her ass cheeks, Looked like you kind of needed to go up there and give it a good squeeze. And Pat's looking at me and rolling his eyes, I'm like, man, what'd you bring me in here for? And she's trying to dance up there, and this little Cuban guy, little kind of sawed off, about 5 feet tall, rotund little fella. He's smoking down towards the end of his cigar, and he walks up to the stage, and he kind of reaches towards her, and he pulls the elastic over her little, she had these little panties on, and he kind of peered over the side of him, and he goes, like, like that. And I was like, God damn, man. I said, what the hell is this shit? And then he steps up a couple of things, and she's still dancing, and here's the terrible part. He takes a dollar bill, and he wads it all up, a real tight little ball, and he throws it down on the floor, and he walks out the exit. And that girl that was up there dancing scurried down off of the stage, and she swept up that dollar bill and then ran back up there, But that to me was a kind of a good reminiscence of the realities of the Florida Keys, where I hear now it costs like $1,400 to have a housekeeper come in and clean your house. That was what I was told this morning. I don't know how. I believe it's true. Somebody was shooting for the moon there. A 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, and now people take houses like that and they make employee housing out of them. The day of a man and a woman and their family moving there and getting a job and surviving, or renting a place is pretty much over. You either have to know somebody or already have owned a home from 30 years ago, or come into a big inheritance. It's I would say it's crossed the threshold now into a place that's solely for elitists. All the day labor and the workers come down from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Tampa, and then the people that have businesses that really need the workers. That what they do is they'll rent a house, and then they'll pile everybody in there, and they all run around in their underwear and half naked together, because they don't mind living like that. They live like that, where they originally hailed from. It's the new American lifestyle. But anyway, that was the strip club story. That's one of my favorite ones to tell.